Okay. All right. I think I have everything working now, finally. All right. Okay. So, hello. We are going to get started now with Train Simulator 2022. I am going to do, I think I already had it set up for the Arizona Divide. I think that was what the title on the Twitch stream was. I wanted to do the Rio Grande, but you know what? We'll stick with that. That's what I put on there. I do want to get back to the Rio Grande, though. So, let's get started here. I already had it set up for the Arizona. All right. So, what I have found with the Arizona Divide is that there's not a whole lot of scenarios to play. Like, okay, so look at this. This is the Arizona Divide, and I'm still like I'm still trying to figure everything out with Train Simulator. But when I go to Workshop, there is a whole bunch of, I think these are like user contributed scenarios that you can play, and they're really cool. But I cannot find any for Arizona Divide. So that means we have to stick with, I think, Quick Drive is what it is. No, maybe not. Nope, I was in the wrong spot. Okay, career mode. So if I'm in career mode, then I can find, they have some like stock scenarios that you can use. My last stream, I did the Phoenix Intermodal Part 1, and I really wanted to just like have a train that was going to go really fast, like get out there and just get up to that 70 miles an hour, because that's something you can do on the Arizona Divide route. But the end of that didn't go as planned because, and I think it has a lot to do with, just maybe the way it was set up or not. But like right after you make your pickup, so you're driving an intermodal train, and when you get to a certain location, you have to make a pickup. So you have to stop your train. You have to cut off, you have to go into a siding track, you have to pick up the cars, add them onto your train, and when I did that, it did not, I made the pickup, I came back out onto the main line, but the switch would not line back for me to get on my train, and I think what they meant for you to do was to take your entire train and back it on to the siding and then go. But I guess, having worked on the railroad, I know that's not how you would do it. You would actually cut your train off and you would just light engine into the siding, because why would you shove an entire train and then your conductor would have to walk all the way to the head end? So anyway, didn't work out, but that's great because that was the end of part 1, and now we're on part 2. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to part 2. And let's just hope it works, because I've been working so many kinks out of Train Simulator 22 and like OBS Studio. I really had an issue with having I think people refer to it as the black screen issue. Whoa. It's pretty loud. I'm going to turn that down real quick. Just turn it down just a tiny bit. A little too much. So I was having trouble with a black screen issue, which is where OBS Studio, when you're in game capture mode and you're trying to capture a full screen or a certain screen, a specific screen, and it's just black. And what I found out was that you have to make sure that your graphics cards are on the same settings, and your programs, OBS and Train Simulator, are both on the same graphics card, which they were not, and now they are. So I missed that message, but I believe we can go to driving interface. No, it's this one. It's going to tell me, did I miss whatever that message was? I think I was talking and I missed that message, but whatever. We're just going to have fun. I'm not going to follow the speed limits. I'm not going to follow the rules. I really don't care about all that as of right now. I just want to have some fun, and I'm glad you are here with me. And actually, this looks a lot nicer than it did. So I changed. Train Simulator was running on my Intel graphics card, and this is my first time seeing it with the NVIDIA graphics card, which is it looks great. This is amazing looking. This is not at all what I was dealing with last time. I hope that the footage comes out a lot better on the stream, but it looks like we're stopped for a red signal here at the crossovers. I don't know what crossovers these are, but I can go to free mode, and then I can just scroll right on over, find out what the name of this control point is. Maybe we can't because there's no sign. Oh, it's over here. Or is it? No, there's just no sign out here. Okay, well, it is what it is, I guess. Man, this looks awesome. None of this was here. Of course, this train wasn't here at all. Did this last time. Sorry, I'm so amazed of the difference, and I've been playing this for a while now. So it looks like we've got a red over yellow signal, so that's probably a medium approach, maybe? Restricting or a medium approach, one of the two. I don't really care, I guess. Does not matter. Let's hop into the... Man, this just looks so awesome now. And it was like, I wasn't trying to like improve the settings on Train Simulator. I was actually just trying to get everything to sync up, and I just incidentally just improved my graphics, which is awesome. All right, back to the cab. Let's see how the cab looks now. Wow, that is a night and day difference. And I was okay. Well, a little bit of a lag there, maybe, but still doing okay. Turn that on so I can see. Yeah, that looks awesome. Okay. Anyway, we can start going. We can start turning wheels. We got a medium approach. I'm going to assume that's a medium approach. Or a diverging approach. I don't know what the Santa Fe signal rules were. I could look it up, I guess. not like it's that big of a deal, but I guess just for shits and giggles, we'll go ahead and Santa Fe signal rules. I'm actually kind of a geek when it comes to signal rules. I'm close to what I want to. Here we go. And we're going to go ahead and pop this forward in the meantime and get this train moving. Bring it to notch 1. To notch 1. I don't think that brake does anything. I know this brake does. Go ahead and get that headlight on. There we go. Ooh. And we are moving already. Okay, cool. We have a... Wait for it. This is a diverging approach, so we are diverging. Diverging approach. No. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, diverging approach. So we can take the diverging route at the prescribed speed and then proceed approaching the next signal prepared to stop. So that's what we will do. Right after I said that we weren't going to have any rules with this, I was going to ignore all the rules. I'm going to do my best to just have fun. But wow, I'm just really amazed at the graphics on this all of a sudden. It's just, I know that might not sound much to some of you, especially if you're been into gaming for a while, but I'm a noob and this is awesome. Okay. All right. Can I spin myself around here? Oh, my headlights are not on. All right. That's weird. Okay, so I have a dim, and then I have a bright. I think for some reason that's out of whack, and you can kind of tell that the graphics aren't all set up for that, and I don't have any ditch lights either, but I'm not going to worry too much. It could just be a setting that I'm missing. I don't know. Back to cab. I can pick up some speed. Milepost 330. Wow. Okay, so when I was playing this the last time that I played it, I could not zoom in and see what the sign said. Now I can. So I am I am so impressed with that. I'm excited that I just happened to come across the I don't know, maybe it's not that impressive. I don't know. I'm impressed by it. So I have to go, I guess I'm restricted to 35 coming up here. It's fine, and we're going uphill now, so I gotta grab, I gotta get into that throttle or we're gonna start slowing down. Bring this baby into notch 8. Let's go ahead and throw that sand on there too, maybe. So the sanding, looks like we're passing a train right here. That's a short looking train. This looks like a work train or something. So I will say, I have played Arizona Divide a few times now, and I will make one observation, which is that a lot of the rolling stock in this, there's no initials, just the car number, and they're kind of bare bones looking, but I don't know if that's just something for that specific. I don't know if that's something specific for maybe the rolling stock they're using or what, but like if I remember correctly in the Rio Grande route, that a lot of that rolling stock does have logos and whatnot on them. So man, look at that. You can almost see the end of your train right here if you looked real close. Maybe we're too long for that. Oh, you know what? So here's another observation. This is a two-part scenario. Did we get an extra engine? I think there's 5 engines now, and I believe I thought there was only 2 of the war bonnets, and then the 2 F-45s. I think they added another engine. I might be wrong, but I think they did. Let's hop back in the cab. Maybe this over here is what I was missing. That's rear, that's front. That's bright, medium. Yeah, I should have had it on bright. Let's go out and look again. I'm using it from RailDriver. No, still not really. I was trying to change the setting from RailDriver, but I think that's just how it is. I don't think you can get the ditch light to work. Tell you what, if you know how to get the ditch lights to work, leave a comment. We're doing 33 to... I'm in notch 8 right now, so this is... Maybe I can add sand. Maybe that'll help a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think we're gonna... I don't think that's gonna do a whole lot to improve our speed. Crossing coming up here. Doesn't sound very good. The horn sounds good when you're up to speed, but that bell's just... I could probably change that. Am I at full power? I am at full power right now, but I can't tell if my sand is on or not. And man, let's see. Okay, well, I pressed the right one. I think it's just, I think you have to hold the sand down, and I wasn't. So, but we're getting up to about track speed right now, as fast as we can go. got her. Looks like we got to slow down to 35 anyway. I feel like I'm cheating by using the driving interface. However, if you're not qualified on the territory, it kind of helps. I think it kind of makes up for the fact that you're not qualified on the territory. Because in theory, if you were an engineer on, in real life, you know your territory, you know the speed restrictions are and all that. So I'm gonna bring this guy down. Can I? Yeah, I think just let gravity do the rest, slowing us down. Cool. Yeah, it took too much throttle off. Yeah, see, now we're losing speed. Losing speed, and we're not really leveling out either. Still climbing. See, this is, and this is an older GE too, so, especially with DC traction, you cannot change your throttle settings too quickly. I think with like an AC, you can pretty much go from notch 1 to 8, but DC, you got to watch your amperage. I'm all the way up to notch 8 again, and we're really climbing. I'll put some sand on again. We'll see if that'll back up. This is the kind of train that you don't want to make late. This train would be a real hot priority. So we do not want to lag. Although I will say, I've talked to some railroad guys who work for Class 1 railroads, and they tell you that even if you got a hot train, guys are too afraid to do track speed, because if you go over speed, then there's your job. So, I don't know. Especially now with all the monitoring equipment, PTC and all that, you really got to watch yourself. I would have loved to work for the railroads back in the 90s or the 80s. It was like the Wild West. And when I started as a conductor in 2009, that was, like right at the end of like, you could still kind of get away with a lot of stuff, but after that, everything became serious. Oh, 3 minutes behind schedule. It doesn't sound bad. 3 minutes behind schedule sounds like we're doing pretty good. I've got my thumb on this clear signal. I got my thumb on the sanding button because when you let go of it, it turns off. So now I'm speeding. Oh, okay. Well, we'll make up for lost time then. it down to notch 6. Maybe that'll be enough. Like I said, I really don't care. But since we're here, I'll try to keep it. I'll try to keep it at the right speed. But like, I'm not going to be too hurt if the computer tells me that I'm speeding. Like, I don't know. Do the points in Train Simulator do anything for you? Let's see. Now we go 55. I mean, it's kind of being proactive. Is that what it's called, a career run? Yeah, because I am in career mode. So... that's fine, I'll be fired. I don't think you can get fired right now. I think you get time off. They can't afford to lose anybody. Man, we're getting back up to 70 now. Getting back up to 70, that's what I wanted to do. That's kind of the reason why I bought the route to begin with, just so I could, like, a lot of Train Simulator routes, they're in the mountains and you're like doing 30, and this is one that you can, really open it up. So let's get this puppy up to 70. On my last stream, I had it up to 80, but that was a mistake. It's me not paying attention. Let's see what we got up here. Clear signal, cool. So we got a dip. Although that might not be a dip. That's, yeah, it looks like you're going downhill, but you're really just leveling off. That's kind of an optical illusion. Yeah, we're just slightly leveling off before we start going uphill again. It's like we got some sort of like feed mill here or something. It's a really big plant. It's a big industry. And with the checkerboards, it just kind of, that makes me think it's like a feed mill. Is like, what is it? Is it Purina that has that like logo right there? There's a station sign. Does it say East Flagstaff? Okay. East Flagstaff. I've actually been to Flagstaff. I've actually driven alongside a lot of this route, driving to the Grand Canyon, and it's actually really cool. I was shocked to see how many trains they run. It is a whole lot. It doesn't stop. It's just one train after another, especially as you're driving down the highway. Yep, exactly. That's the. If it was just they had the red checkerboards, and then you would. That would have been it, but it looks like that's not our signal there. Crossing coming up. Gosh, I just do not like that bell. everything she's got. Guess we don't really need to anyways, we gotta slow down. Gotta slow this puppy down now because we're supposed to do 50 now. So, like I said, I think this driving interface kind of makes up for the fact that if you're not qualified on the route, you don't know where all the speed restrictions are and all that, then you can kind of use that as a cheat, kind of makes up for the fact that you're not qualified. I think we had another whistle post there, so crossing coming up. Dim that headlight though, I know that. There we go. Their hot double stack train. Yeah, I'm with you there. The sounds aren't really my main thing either. Really, if you can give me something that's entertaining and keeps me interested, then I'm happy. Supposed to slow down even more now. We will. We'll get there. Not even worried about it. Because by the time I bring this down to 40, it'll be saying go 70 again, and then yeah. Coming up to the rear end. That bell on. Make sure no one walks out behind the go. Well, ST Clinton, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Alright, I'm doing 40 now. Looks like we got a station coming up here. This must be the Flagstaff station. I'll zoom out here. Must have like a older station and then maybe they built a new station after the fact. We'll overpass there, a little be like a creek or something. Maybe a wash. They call them washes in Arizona since it's an overpass. See, they got us going down to 35. We're going uphill, so I'll let gravity do most of the work for me. I'm just gonna pop that throttle back down. Clear signal. Starting to climb now. Trick is here is to slow down without losing all of your speed, especially on an uphill grade. That is the challenge here. So I really don't care if I go over speed. I said at the beginning, I'm not really going to follow all the rules, but it's cool to acknowledge all the rules that you're breaking, though. It's very important. You can hear those GEs working, too. They're sputtering and belching, working hard right now at Notch 8. And 5 engines on this train, that's probably about right. Especially these old B40s, because I think they had wheel slip issues with the being 4 axles. It's a lot of horsepower. It's a lot of horsepower on just on 4 motors. Or like four axles, I should say. And we're doing okay so far. Not going over speed, and we're not going too far under. Very scenic up here, just past Flagstaff. That was something that really impressed me, because not knowing anything about Arizona, driving down the interstate, and it's just like New Mexico is just, it's all desert. Then you get to Arizona, and it starts out as desert, but then right around the time you get to Flagstaff, you start seeing pine trees. It looks just like this. It's very cool, because you don't expect it, especially after driving through the desert, to just start seeing pine trees and mountains and all that. Alright. Had my thumb on that sanding button enough. Looks like we're speeding up. We're going to get another bump in speed up here. I'm going to go up to 40. clear signal. Looks good to me. That's just a block signal there. It's not controlling anything. It's not guarding anything. It's just giving you information about the track occupancy ahead. That's all it's doing. Some sand here. If we can try to make 40, we should try to do it. Should have already popped up. I think it should have already popped up. Maybe I'm wrong. I see it right there. Maybe the entire train has to pass before we can do that. Got another train. Passing another train. Got here. It's like a mixed freight, manifest freight. Got some blue bonnets on there. Very nice. Top that, or sorry, put that headlight back on. Can't talk. See any logos on any of the cars, and again, like, I guess that doesn't really bother me, but I guess I had this expectation that it would, since other routes have it. So I said the Rio Grande route, that's awesome, and I can't wait to get back into that too, because I want to do that again. But there we go, now we can do 40. Up speed again. Gauge lights on too. Control. What do you do? Is this button kind of scared to press? Or I don't know. I might have just messed the whole thing up. I think that controls the gauge lights though. Yeah, that controls the gauge lights. Now I can see my gauges a little bit better. And that's your cab light there. Turn that off, and it's really dark in here. Way too dark. Seems like it shouldn't be that dark. And we're speeding again. Thanks for reminding me. We're still going uphill. We're coming up to a 45. Do I just let it go? Just be like Elsa, let it go. Okay, we'll slow down. Just, bring it back. Bring it back down just a tad bit, and then we'll let gravity. Yeah, we're coming down slightly there in speed, so. Too much though, we're losing too much speed there. Coming back up. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Can't see the signal. Well, back in the cab. Oh, it's green. Okay. can't be seen, it must be green. That is the rule. That is the official rule of driving trains. The official rule of driving trains in signaled territory. Except with those new lights, the LEDs are great. You can see those really well. Searchlight signals suck. Alright, I think we're going downhill now, so we're going to start knocking off the throttle. Yeah, we're gonna start going really fast now. Okay. I know. We're gonna... And all that slack is gonna start running in. Okay, we're into dynamics now. Into dynamics. We're gonna hit that 65 up pretty quick here though, so... Yeah. And my rail driver's not working very well. Are you even on? Come on. Can't tell if it's working or not. There we go. Whoa. Maybe it... Yeah, there was a delay. I think there's a delay when you go into dynamic brakes, and I think that's what I missed. We went right into dynamic braking on that. Okay. Alright. Well, good, because we were doing 53. We were really going. And by the time I get this thing slowed back down, it's going to be 65, so what's the point? Just kind of keep the train under control, I suppose. That's exactly what we're doing. We're holding at 54. So, that's fine. We are at negative 22,000 points, so we are doing our job. Let's just change that. Let's just change that negative sign to a dollar sign. Alright. Hello, train. We'll go to dim. Yep, we'll turn them headlights down for you. Back up. Okay. Yeah, another manifest breaks. Another manifest. This is a off that dynamic a tad bit. Okay, back to idle. Just let this puppy kind of coast at this point. It's going to pick up some speed now. And we are back up to 70. And track speed again, finally. And it is beautiful. And what do we got here? Another clear signal. Cool. Another clear signal. I'll take it. East Belmont. Crossovers at East Belmont. That's where we are at right now. Happy Monday to you too. In Canada. I'm not too far from Canada. I am not too far. I'm like maybe like a 40-minute drive. I haven't been there in a long time though. It was way before COVID. And I don't even know if we can cross the border right now. I always get nervous too going through customs because, like, I have a tendency to get nervous when I'm talking to somebody who's like being super serious, and then I don't know, it's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for the customs agent. So yeah. And then you have to do the whole thing again when you come back, because when you come back to the States, then you have to tell them, you know, if you purchased anything and all that. And one time, I actually got crossing coming up. One time we came back from Canada, and we had just crossed the bridge, and the custom agent asked where we came from, and my response was, from Canada. And he just looked at me and smiled, and he's just like, I know you came from Canada, obviously. Oh, you're working on a workshop route? So, Cajon Pass modernized. So, like, what is a workshop route? Is that, because I know there's a workshop in the menu options, because I've gone there for, like, the scenarios and stuff. So, like, can you go to workshop to find new routes? Is a cool route. Oh, I'll definitely check them out. The vanilla Cajon Pass, I like that. Yeah, so I haven't played the Cajon Pass on Train Simulator, but yeah, from what I've seen with Dovetail, is their stuff is pretty lackluster. You know, maybe not lackluster is the word. Maybe just it seems like it's rushed when they put the routes out. But yeah, I'll definitely check those out. Yeah, Cajon Pass is a cool route. That's like the gateway to Los Angeles. I think any freight goes... I think any freight going in and out of like the Los Angeles area that has to go through Cajon, if I'm correct. I believe I'm correct. Railworks America. Pennsylvania Steam, the Bessemer and Lake Erie, that sounds like a cool route. I like the Bessemer and Lake Erie. That's a cool railroad. Actually have a DVD on the Bessemer and Lake Erie back before it was purchased by CN. But I do know one fun fact, that the Bessemer and Lake Erie, they are a very profitable railroad, or they were a very profitable railroad, because I don't think they hauled much empties. It was basically loads in, loads out, and it's a very profitable railroad. The 1920s. That would be cool. I'm not a super big steam fan, but slow this thing down a little bit. Yeah, we're up to 70 now. I'm not a super big steam fan, but I definitely like the Bessemer. That would be, in fact, now that you're talking about that, I think I remember seeing a YouTube video about that, actually. Yeah, like Bessemer and Lake Erie in the 1920s. I think I've seen a video on that, and it was very impressive. All right, well, putting some train brake on now. When I do that, I started babbling and all that, and I stopped paying attention to speed. But oh well. There we go. Railworks America. So can am I able to download routes for free on that, or is it like a paid service or something? Yeah, I'll have to check that out. You know, I just got into Train Simulator, like literally within the last few weeks. Like it's maybe been 4 or 5 weeks, and so I'm learning a whole lot about the game and like all the places to go and all that. And, I started with Iran. I don't think it's Iran anymore. I think, well, Trains with the Z. I started with that, and I also downloaded Run 8, and I wasn't very impressed with Run 8. The graphics are very, very lack. Like it runs great on the computer, but gotta slow this thing down. So when I downloaded Train Simulator, I was very impressed with just how much content there is for it. There is a lot of content, and the thing about the Train Simulator content is that it's all pretty like high quality content. You know, as far as, well, in comparison to like where Trains, there is a whole lot of content for Trains with the Z. But you're not. You know, it's all, you know, anyone can do a route. So there's a whole lot. It's saturated, and there's not a whole lot of quality in there. But Train Simulator, it's been very consistent. There's a lot of content for it. And I do like Trains because you can go in there and you can make your own routes too. That is a great feature. Well, you can do that without like a whole lot of training either, like a whole lot of like it's not a big learning curve. I think you can do that for Train Sim World now too. Oh, and I know I can tell you one thing: we're definitely we're making up for lost time. That's for sure. Like 20 over at this point. But I'm gonna have to put the train brake on. This puppy down. New Haven's a cool railroad. The orange and black on those Alcos, that was always really cool. New Haven had some really cool paint schemes. $137,000 negative points. I have done my job today, guys. I actually heard, since you mentioned that with the 50s, from a few people that I've talked to regarding the train simulators, is that a lot of the content is contemporary. So it's great to see that we're starting to get getting some older routes in older eras, I should say. 1950s especially, because that was the steam to diesel transition. So you can run diesel and steam at the same time. So that's awesome. The 1920s, that's really cool, because now you're talking all steam. Like, there is very little in the way of diesel or electric power back in the 1920s. But that was something that one of my friends had mentioned, is just the train simulators. A lot of stuff is contemporary, and I'd love to see some more stuff like this in the 1990s, the 80s, and the 90s. Santa Fe, the Rio Grande, those are the last two that I purchased, actually, because that's kind of the era that I really enjoy, right up until like the 2000s. And yeah, and the racetrack, I bought the racetrack too. And that's actually a really cool route too. And I'm going to do a stream on that soon. Oh yeah, me too. Conrail would definitely be. I would really like to see the Toledo East, between Toledo and Cleveland. It's flat. However, you go through Sandusky, and along that portion, we actually go over the Sandusky Bay, and you're on a causeway for a lot of it, and it's very scenic. There's like a couple swing bridges out there, or drawbridges, and it's open water on either side. And again, that's a very busy route too. Double track, and that would be awesome to see during the Conrail era. Even early Conrail too, because then you get like the Penn Central, the Reading, all the patched work. Sorry, can't speak today. All the patched engines and all that. That would be cool. Yeah, no PSR. That's for sure. I do not like PSR. for a railroad that interchanges with CSX, and since they started PSR, trains are 10,000, 11,000, 12,000 feet long that they'll interchange to us, and it's not fun. Can't fit a train. The thing is the American infrastructure is just not set up for a 10,000 foot train. It's just not. And you're pushing it with 8,000, 9,000 foot trains. A lot of locations, a lot of areas are laid out in like 1 mile blocks. Especially like in Ohio, for example, it's most of the county roads are in 1 mile blocks. So you have a train that's 10,000 foot. Well, you're blocking at least one crossing, if not two. Just does not work. Oh yeah, and you can even tell now that the government has stepped in to try to limit train sizes in the United States, and I don't know if it'll work or not, but I sure hope it would, because I would love to get back to short fast operating style. Short trains, more of them. That'd be great. And that's another thing too, is you don't see as many trains anymore, because they've combined them all. And I cannot get this speed thing right. Yep. Yeah, and I think BNSF is probably the only railroad that can afford to with their Transcon and their intermodal trains and whatnot. They you almost can't run trains the way CN and CSX are doing with the super long trains, because got intermodal, got to make sure that stuff makes it to its destination on time. Can't be porting it at the port until you have, a 10,000 foot train. You got to send that. You got to send it as soon as you can. And I think it helps that. I think Warren Buffett talked about that. It's just something he is not for PSR. Hopefully it's just a fad. I really do hope it's just a fad. I didn't know that, but that makes sense. The Northern Transcon is for agriculture. That makes a whole lot of sense. It really puts things in perspective. But yeah, BNSF, I think it was just the right combination of railroads. You had the Burlington Northern, which was a massive railroad, and I think they were perfectly located, and so was the Santa Fe, and it was a good merger. Yeah. Well, all the railroads are closing their hump yards too. NS is doing that. CSX is doing it. I will say that it makes sense if you can. That's the one thing that, as much as I don't approve of the operating styles of Hunter Harrison, there was one thing that he understood and made sense of. Oh, we got a looks like a diverging approach. Well, we're going to be crossing over here. Crossing over at 60, that's good. Probably should have slowed down, but whatever. Whoa. If we're going all the way over. Okay. That's one thing Hunter Harrison did have correct was, you know, if you can block your cars ahead of time, instead of sending them all to a central location to be sorted, when you concentrate a whole bunch of cars in one yard, it just slows the entire operation down, and then it adds to the dwell time of those cars. But when you block them ahead of time at every location, you know, your local trains are they're blocking all their cars together before they arrive at the yard, then it makes sorting a lot easier, goes a lot faster. That's something at our railroad that I work for that we've been trying to do more of is to block all of our cars going to CSX ahead of time. Let's slow this puppy down. Block all of our cars to CSX ahead of time, and it really has helped cut down on how much switching we have to do at our main hub. But as far as running trains 10,000 feet, 11,000 feet, that's where I draw the line. I didn't know that. There was a YouTube video where they interviewed the president of Santa Fe, and he was the president that took over for BNSF. And he kind of talked about the merger in detail. Jessica, do you know what railroad they decided to go with? Was it who had the better operating style? Do you know? I feel like it would have been the Santa Fe, just because, you know, they, especially running intermodal trains and all that, it's like you kind of have to know what you're doing when it comes to that. Versus, like, you know, agriculture and stuff that was probably bigger for the BN, because that doesn't have the same time clock on it that the intermodal does. I think we're coming into Williams, Arizona now. Slow this train down just a tiny bit more. This is Williams, Arizona. You will be waiting you'll be waiting at West Williams on the main for me. This scenario ends once you stop at West Williams. Okay, so we're going to be ending our scenario just up ahead here. That makes sense too, to just take the best of both and combine them. But and that was, and it worked too. For BNSF it worked. And you know, just the fact that they did have the Santa Fe and the BN together, both of those were great railroads to begin with, so that helped out a lot. Where I think Union Pacific, Rio Grande Industries, and all of the UP railroads, they had trouble. Union Pacific, I think, needed a better merger partner, and I think Southern Pacific they bought the Rio. Well, how did this work? No. The Rio Grande bought Southern Pacific from Santa Fe, from the combined company, because back in the 80s, Santa Fe and Southern Pacific tried to merge, and when that didn't work, when the ICC didn't approve it, Santa Fe SPSF had to sell off one of the railroads, and of course it was going to be the SP, and the Rio Grande bought it, and then just took the name Southern Pacific. Buddy. Guess I stopped too soon. Oh man, we're blocking all the crossings. Got the town of Williams, Arizona cut in half. Okay, well, hopefully we start picking up some speed here now. I've got a brake released all the way. There we go. There we go. Okay. This rail driver does not work too well with the sim. Gotta kind of play with it. I do really wish that BNSF, I really wish they would take the red and silver and apply it back to their engines, because it would look awesome with the BNSF swoosh logo. I think that would be the right combination. I'd love just to see one. Just give us one. Okay, so it looks like we're stopping just ahead here. I just stopped too soon. I had stopped too soon back there. But now we're moving again. Back in 2001, I believe BNSF and the CN tried a merger. That did not work. Did not get approved. Yeah, I saw that coming. The KCS kind of seemed like it was going to go to somebody at some point. I'm glad it went to CP over CN. CP was always kind of the underdog. Got here. Oh, Oh, I see. Okay. The track just ends right here, so I do have to stop. Okay. It's just the end of the track. It has to stop somewhere, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe the scenario is not going to end. I know there was some kinks with that last one there. It didn't end. I'm officially stopped. Did I do a good job? Probably not. Oh well. But we made it in one piece. Yeah, really. Yeah, at this point, I may as well. Oh, right. Well, that was a lot of fun. I was really impressed, and it happened incidentally that I, improved my graphics sevenfold just by changing a setting that I didn't know that I needed to change. But I did, and I'm actually very impressed with this Arizona Divide route now. And I appreciate you guys riding along, and thank you for watching. I will try to do this every Monday and possibly add some bonus content during the week as well. But anyway, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, and it was great talking to everybody.